And I guess
you know what?
yeah, do it, dude.
Take my boots off. Okay.
Get fucking comfy, bro.
My dirty boots and my dirty jeans.
Hell yeah, mismatched socks, perfect.
Always.
Always. You and else. Is that a thing you youngins do?
For me, it's definitely like life's too short to like wear matching socks. Like
Life's too short to find the mates.
yeah, like exactly. Yeah. There were two of these.
At some point, yeah.
But no, it's like the one part of your body that no one likes to see, and we're all worried that it matches.
But there's OnlyFans for it.
That's fair. Ain't no one paying to see if my face matches. Or my testicles match. Like,
Oh man,
is it weird?
does one hang lower?
Are we
than the other?
recording?
Oh god, yeah. Are you kidding me?
Okay, good. Because I was like, can I drop a Jimmy Carr joke here?
I mean, the answer is you can do whatever the fuck you want.
That's true. That's true. We are incorporated.
Finally, we've got a name. What is it?
Conversations Incorporated.
Yes. Until next week when we change it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
You know, I'm taking this full hill.
But we still got to come up with like a weekly like episode title.
Absolutely.
So what you got? I think I decided last week. Or no, I decided to go with you last week. This week I'm deciding for you to go with you.
Oh, okay. Kendrick Lamar rules the fucking internet. That's my title.
I don't like it.
That's fine. It's exactly what happens every week.
I know, right? Oh, perfect. Then, yeah, let's keep going.
I mean, our names have definitely still been kicking my ass, but that literally was my first thing. So fucking, we figured that out before we even got on the podcast.
Yeah,
today.
right? I showed up a half hour early to decide a name.
Did you actually? So I guess maybe
25 minutes.
25 minutes, something like that.
We'll round up.
All right,
I think that's fair.
I actually started the timer, so we have one. We didn't have one last week. Maybe.
There were no rules last week.
No rules.
It was,
no rules. No rules. No news. And that's kind of when I realized we might not always fucking do news. So, god damn. So,
we're incorporated now. We gotta have structure.
LLC. Limited. LLC. Blah 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 blah. So what's been going on? We'll start with you. I started with Daisy last week. So
yeah, I guess the big thing this week was the Super Bowl.
It was the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I think we have the same topic a little bit. Then
yeah,
what do you think?
I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm happy that the Chiefs didn't win.
Yeah.
I don't hate the Chiefs as much as most people do, but I do like variety. And I mean, I was kind of with you this week or this year where I was like a Bills Bengals Super Bowl would be ideal.
And also impossible, right? Or is Bengals NFC? I thought Bengals were AFC.
No, not Bengals. It was the Bills and the... Oh, shit. What was the other team? The Commanders.
The Commanders, yeah.
Sorry, Bills Commanders.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that's NFC.
Shout out to the Bengals.
Yeah.
But yeah, a Bills...
Honorable mention.
Yeah. You're doing great, guys. I like your helmet.
That's right.
But yeah...
I don't like your helmet. Go back to the Washington football team. That was the best.
No, I meant the Bengals helmet.
Oh, right.
Okay?
Yes.
Tiger
Sorry.
print, okay?
Sorry.
Cats.
Anytime I can hate on the Washington Commanders,
Yeah,
I'm going to
gotcha.
take it. So
That's fair.
I felt like I had my moment.
I like it. I mean, I talk about how much I hate everything. You can talk about the Commanders for a little bit if you want.
Let me tell you about it. I don't know. I used to be that naive fuck that used to say like, it's always been the Redskins. Let them always be the Redskins.
Yeah.
And the more I've kind of come around on that, I guess I was fine when they got rid of the Redskin name and decided to go towards, just the Washington football team. But I kind of liked that.
Yeah.
This Commander thing seems like such a fucking reach. I don't like it.
I was thinking, and I agree with you.
The logo was cool. It's like established this year. We're the football team.
Yeah.
Like one team just be like, fuck it, we're football.
Yeah. Well, and I think the Commanders is a weird. Like, I don't understand how we went from Redskins to Commander. Like, because Commanders is just not, like, a great name. Like,
Yeah.
I was thinking it would have been cool if they went even more native.
The Washington corrupt politic city.
Yeah, right. No, not that native. That's a different kind of native. But I was thinking like if they went like, how would you feel if they went with like the Washington like Apaches? Or like,
I don't know.
or like the Washington, because the Apaches or the Navajo or it's a warrior culture,
right? Yeah.
So instead of saying like Redskins, it'd be like, no, we're fucking badass,
Yeah, and there's like the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
So I guess I'd want to do some polling because I am unfortunately the old white man in the room that needs to realize I'm the old white man in the room.
Yeah.
I'd want to do some polling and know like, does that make sense? Because I think that would be fucking brilliant. But like, what do the Apaches think about this?
Yeah, which is fair. Yeah, no, and having the actual demographic, I suppose, is important. But that would be, and it's kind of like calling your team the Spartans or the Trojans or whatever, and it's like, well, first of all, there are no Trojans anymore. Like,
right? Who's going to speak up for?
Yeah. It's like, I really like that movie.
Tonight we dine in Fife.
Yeah.
Those
what would the Fife Warriors sound like? The Pied Pipers.
Right.
But yeah. So I think you're right. I think if we got like a native tribe that's like a warrior tribe that like endorsed it, like we weren't forced to endorse it, like actually we're like, no, we fucking love football. Let's fucking go.
Maybe if they actually like fully down that road, and then it's like, all right, well, let's put some like Apache people on the on the board, things like that. Then sure, fuck it,
let's go.
Makes sense, yeah. I can see that. That could be cool. But and then bluntly, that would be fucking better than Commanders.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like I don't understand the Commander name. You know, like and it doesn't really roll off the tongue.
No.
And we had that problem today when we were coming up with the title. I guess the argument anyone could make is we should not be the ones coming up with the title because we had a hard enough time with our own title.
Right? Someone please fix the.
Yeah.
It's not us. It's not. It's never gonna be us.
But if you're listening, we would love to know what you I don't give a shit. Don't fucking
Don't you mail us?
Yeah, don't email me. I mean, unless you're like an Apache and you want to like go tomahawk throwing or something, if you want to hang out and drink and party with us and go to trivia on Tuesdays,
you're in.
Then hit us up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. But
you better be good at random trivia. We get the music, but you better get the rest of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? Fucking first responder shows. Eat my asshole.
Man. Nah, my cousin's probably mad at me. He actually works with first responders.
My best friend is a firefighter, but he's a firefighter in Ording.
Oh, right.
So it's like, did Mount Rainier blow up? No, then I'm not busy. That's basically it.
That's my favorite thing. You're driving along, you look over, volcano evacuation route.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Like, they all seem to end at my house, so I just keep an extra box of water in the garage.
Yeah, or a surfboard.
And a surfboard. Yeah. I've lined the bottom in aluminum so we can run the magma.
Yeah, don't forget your oar.
What was that there during the Super Bowl, the Reese's commercial for the lava, and then they had all these people out at an actual like lava flow trying to catch or jump into the lava, and all the Rangers had to keep tackling them down, and I'm like, I couldn't laugh because like, this is where we're at with America.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, I feel like we could use a good eruption. Like, like a good uniting, because, there's...
uniting natural disaster.
Yeah, because you can't fight it. It's not like we're getting attacked.
I don't know if I agree with that anymore. Not after how we responded around the LA fires.
I mean...
I guess it's LA.
Yeah, well, they don't know if that was natural. Okay, granted,
it probably wasn't. They didn't probably start natural, but come on, that was still a disaster.
Oh yeah. It absolutely, it was a disaster. I'm not. Yeah, but also, do you think that This is good. Yeah, this is past the fact. Do you think that people would care as much about the fires if it wasn't L.A.?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
Like if Seattle burned down.
I mean, well, not Seattle. Because the last time it burned down, they're like, fuck it. We're not even going to bother to clean this up.
Yeah.
We're just going to build on top of it.
Yeah.
They literally, like, that's why you have a Seattle Underground.
Yeah. The Great Seattle Fire.
Bad execution there. I would say Seattle's never going to be one. Because we'll just do it again, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we'll do.
Yeah, we'll just keep building over it, you know. Well,
It's a tourist attraction after that. We need that kind of shit around here.
Oh,
right?
yeah. No, and well, you know that's what they do with cemeteries.
What?
When they fill up a cemetery plot and there's no more room for dead bodies, they just build over it. Like, right? Which is, that's a thing. I learned this the other day that when.
All right, you have to explain this far more.
Yeah, no, so like if there's
this
like.
is not where I thought the episode was going today.
I know, right? Yeah, we were talking about the Commanders like 2 seconds ago. But no, like, if there's like a cemetery. And obviously not like Arlington, where it's like when we run out of room, we just build more room because it's a national cemetery. Like your average cemetery, when they fill up with bodies, essentially, there's no more room to bury people, you know, holistically and whatnot.
They just kick over the tombstones and build a mall?
They sell the land. They sell the land. What are they going to do with it? Leave it like fucking to the dead? Absolutely not. Like they're going to sell it. They're going to put a pave over it and they're going to build something, okay?
Oh man.
And then that thing, whatever it is fucking haunted. Okay? It's fucking haunted forever and you're going to use it to go buy your kids shoes. Okay?
This
Isn't that fucking insane, though? Like,
oh, man.
It's not common knowledge because no one wants to know that.
Like, Grandma, one day you'll be the tubes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that
for a mall.
Well, I'm guessing it's because it takes so long to fill up a plot that it's like by the time it's full.
Where's one that's been done? It's got to be back east, I'd assume. Then.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd assume because we live in Washington. I assume everyone's just burying people in their backyard.
They just wash out and end up in the sound.
That's why people get like an above ground pool is because there's no more room in the yard for the dead bodies. So they have to put a pool over it. Okay. All right.
Oh,
and
God.
I can make that joke because.
What? You're dead?
Well, I mean,
inside.
Yeah, I mean that works. But yeah, because I am currently I don't have a dark cloud over my head. I have an above ground pool. Okay, there's a metaphysical above ground pool that seeps out over me whenever I'm upset. And that's how we Washingtonians do it because it's raining all the time. Dark cloud means nothing to us.
Dark cloud means Monday.
Yeah. But also, you know, we live in. For those of you who don't know, Milton is like less than 10 miles from Green River.
Yeah.
And it's like the Green River Killer. This dude killed 80 people, and that happened. I learned about that when I was like 10.
I learned about that when I moved to Washington.
Oh, yeah, because you're from Alaska.
Yeah.
They have a different... Well, and that's...
We had our own killers.
Yeah.
They never talked about them because they probably ran government.
Yeah, that's...
Sorry.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's funny.
Our lawyers say we have to say allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Nothing's been proven.
That's right. Sorry, you were saying before I completely derailed you.
You're good. I mean, wasn't there that one Alaskan serial killer that like it was like this is where we're at.
This is where we're at.
Wasn't it like the most dangerous game? And he'd like kidnap people and then he'd like hunt them down in the wild of Alaska.
Oh, I believe that probably happened.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I don't
know his name or anything, but I think that was the one I remember hearing about. Not in real time, just in general, and being like.
I'm sure it's happened.
But also, I'm like, isn't that just like, if Alaska ever ran out of booze, that is what everyone would turn into, is just kidnapping and hunting people down.
You know? I mean, if they run out of booze, the only thing we do is cull to make sure we get more booze.
Yeah, right. That's what. No, that was just Prohibition Alaska. Prohibition Alaska was just
I want to believe Prohibition probably just skipped Alaska. They're like, fuck it, we're already miserable and cold. Like, just let them keep their alcohol.
Yeah, like that's probably like the underground, like the underground drug deal of like everyone does it in Alaska. Like,
that's what we do. We commercial fish and we drink.
Yeah. But anywho. Yeah. I believe we were talking about the Super Bowl.
Yes. Come back to a little bit of our talk from last week. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
So, man, not more have I ever gone down a deep rabbit hole. We last week had kind of talked about the beef with Drake and everything else along that. Sounds like that beef's still going, man. Brought it up in the Super Bowl. Like, did you see that?
I mean,
I would say Serena Williams was there.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's still going. I'd say it's been fucking won.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how. So did you like the halftime show?
I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I mean, it wasn't like I actually enjoyed that it wasn't over the top crazy like maybe Madonna's or even Katy Perry's, anything like that. I like that kind of street look to what they had. I love the clown car. Everything shot out of the clown car at the beginning.
The simplicity of it.
Yeah.
There was definitely like a and I liked it.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Right. Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson's hanging out, so automatically I'm like, motherfucker.
Looking like Mr. Sam.
Yeah, Uncle Sam.
Sam. Yeah, that was great.
I will say I enjoyed it. The people that I was hanging out with, they did not. They thought it was boring.
Really?
But I don't think they're Kendrick Lamar fans.
Why do they think it was boring though?
I mean,
we talked the whole my little crew. It was a small crew up in Seattle, but like we talked the whole fucking Super Bowl. But the halftime show came on. I made 2 jokes and I stopped making any jokes because I realized no one's fucking talking.
Yeah.
And I was like, I better fall in line. Everyone's serial about this thing.
Yeah,
right
we had the opposite where I actually was sitting there like taking it in.
Yeah.
And everyone I was with was like, this is boring and I don't like it.
You should have come to my Super Bowl. Like seriously, like I made 2 jokes, the clown car joke and then something else, and I was like, you know what? People are into this. Yeah, read the room. I'm doing my wisecracking bullshit. Like everyone loved that. Like, and then that ended, and everyone's like back to chatting and having a good time. But I thought it was good.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it.
It was. I think someone said it was like a B, and I'm like, nothing wrong with a B sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, I probably felt the same way about it as I did when Tom Petty. I mean, granted, I like Tom Petty, but Tom Petty is not party music.
No. Like Paul McCartney wasn't a good halftime show. Like, and I love Paul McCartney, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not what you bring to fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, and I think that's a fair...
That was right after the whole Janet Jackson and
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah,
they wanted something
wholesome. Right? And the next year it was like this is the apology tour began.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying sorry.
No, you're good. But I definitely I see it didn't have the same spectacle that especially the...
I applauded it for that.
Yeah, no, and I thought it was cool. I thought it was different. I think if they were going with something that's not what they've already done.
Right.
Because, I mean, if they wanted a spectacle, just watch the Dr. Dre one.
Right.
Which was... And I love the Dr. Dre one.
That was pretty
spectacular. I thought it was cool that it was different. It was definitely a different genre of music than we're used to. Because and I will maintain I don't find Kendrick Lamar to be party music.
No.
And
I'd agree with that 100%. Like, in fact, today I was watching some of his videos just to kind of, because I'm not I'm not as much up on Kendrick Lamar as, in fact, last week I was going back and editing and listening to what you had said and going, well, fuck, I learned a whole fucking lot about when I watched that, plus listening to you talk about it there and kind of putting all those pieces together. Like, that's the most I really kind of got into it. So today I was watching his videos and such, just kind of actually get my ass in the know, which is what I do. But yeah, like,
he's an artist.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would probably be my overall take of it, is this is a rap artist. This is not a rapper. This is not a rap singer. This is a rap artist. And he did an artistic rap performance.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is, it was, and, despite how good he is, he's still young and still has something to prove.
Oh, I think that makes some sense. I think he did a really good job of I think you brought a lot of things to bear.
Yeah.
I am curious on a couple of things, especially considering some of the other messages and haunts I kind of seen around it. I actually applauded the fact that it was a very I don't think there was anyone that wasn't African American in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I thought was like, I was like, oh, someone's going to bitch about this.
Yeah.
I was like, this is cool.
Yep.
But, and I hate to say I noticed it, but I did because at this point I'm trying to be very cognizant of it. Like the other day, even going to Safeway, I was looking at all the checkers and there was one that was African American. Like, fuck it, I'm going to go to that line. I'm just, maybe that's me trying to pretend I'm through it, or just I'm trying to make sure I'm breaking down biases.
Yeah.
And thinking like that. And so I've been kind of noticing that, especially with all the DEI bullshit going on that within the country. And so I looked at that, and sure enough, there was some shots across the bow about all that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was truly fully intentional in that, or if it was he was trying to go with the fact that New Orleans is a very black forward community, Creole and all that, and trying to sit into that heritage, or what was actually going on there. I think people are going to look at this Super Bowl halftime show, and you could probably watch it like 30, 40 times and find all kinds of little nuances over all that about where we are as a culture, where he is within his career, what he was trying to prove just in general. And like I said, or what you had said, excuse me, he is a rap artist. He is not just spitting rhymes. He's absolutely out to show and make you think, which I thought was phenomenal.
Yes. And I think being poignant right now, and we have mumble rap now. We have people who, and in my opinion, I get that there's a genre for everyone. And I'm 32, so I'm on the cusp of being one of those people that is looking back on how things used to be when I was growing up, at least entertainment wise, and being like, I have firm opinions about what this means. I'm on the cusp of that. I think it's when you hit 40 usually that you're just like, no, that's not real rap music, or that's not real music, or that's or back in my, or whatever. And so with that, Kendrick Lamar is very refreshing in the way that he is poignant, he is interesting, he has something to say. Everything he says and does has meaning behind it. And I think that is something
that showed in his
absolutely
display.
And I think that if you didn't get that, whether you liked it or not, I think it's important to at least look into the messages behind these things and just listen. You don't have to agree with it. I felt that way about the kneeling. We're getting real divisive here.
Right, yeah.
The kneeling, where it's like, whether you agree with him kneeling or not, if all you're, Colin Kaepernick kneeling.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with it or not, and everyone's allowed to agree with it or not agree with it.
Right.
That is our right as Americans.
Of course.
If you aren't at least looking at the meaning behind it, and that goes both ways. Like if you were for it and you're for him taking a knee because he feels like black people are disenfranchised in the U.S. Yeah, like go look into that. If you're on the other side of that, look at why some people feel like this is him taking a shit on the flag. Like, and whether you agree with it or not, I think it's important to look at both sides authentically and be like, I
agree.
This, like, everyone has a right to be upset about whatever.
And everyone has a right to, and that's the thing. I guess that's one of my biggest problems that I've had with most politics recently is that everyone if you don't believe what I believe, then you're wrong.
Yeah.
And my point around Kaepernick is he's absolutely should be allowed to kneel.
Oh,
There's no reason. Like, he has that right and that freedom within the United States of America.
Yes.
And you can tell me all you want that, the NFL is an entertainment.
Yeah.
And you need to abide by that and so forth and so on. I guess you could play that card if you want, owners.
Yeah.
On the other side of it, I think these people grow up to become role models.
Yeah.
They are a public figure.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to need to realize that they will have a platform.
Yeah.
And if you I think it's a bad idea to stomp on that.
Yeah.
I believe that we should embrace the fact that these platforms exist.
Yeah.
And allow them to exist. And frankly, if you don't like it, then don't watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be a part of it.
Yeah, and I feel that way too. I mean, and I think about, when I think of him kneeling, and we don't know how people are going to look at Colin Kaepernick in 50 years. We don't.
Yeah, I think it's always going to be that asterisk on the season.
Yeah, but also, I mean, I think of the two, and I should know their names, but the two black track stars at the Olympics who raised their fists for, and stripped of their medals. And this was during this was during segregation and all that, and they were like, no, we have an issue in America. Yes, we are Americans who are phenomenal athletes who won.
Mm-hmm.
But we have issues just because we're good at. I think they were track and field, if I recall.
Right.
And it's like, just because we're good runners doesn't mean we don't have issues. We have issues, and taking that platform, I think, is important, and also you have to know what you're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm sure that Colin Kaepernick knew when he knelt that this was going to be a divisive statement, and that that it could have potentially affect his career. I mean, it did affect his career.
Yeah, absolutely. He played for the 49ers and then never again, right?
Yeah. And
or did he play for another team for a bit?
I don't think I only remember him being a 49er.
Yeah, maybe it was this 49ers. I can't remember.
But I do think that is something that history tells us, at least at this point. If you're going to do something like that, you're probably going to lose something as well.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but it's like, if you're willing to do that, then do it. You know, like, he wasn't physically hurting anyone. I mean, he's a football player. He's obviously
well, not while he was kneeling.
Yeah. He's not physically hurting anyone. And so I definitely think that over time it will blossom better than it has. Because at the time it was divisive. It's still kind of divisive.
I don't think anyone's done it in the last 2 seasons yet.
I know that Eminem did it on stage when he performed. Like that, and that was 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and then that was a blanket statement, and he said it was, that is what it looks like. I was kneeling because, to show solidarity.
Right.
And that was during a performance. He wasn't, just in the audience kneeling. He was performing, and at the end of his set, he took a knee in solidarity.
Yeah.
And so I do think that eventually it will blossom like the two guys at the Olympics. Which I'm, I think it's in the long run, it will be a very good thing. In the short term, it is divisive. He had to know that.
Yeah.
He had to know that it was going to cost him something to be that divisive, but he has that right. And and I agree with him having the right to do it.
Yes.
Regardless of how anyone feels on one side or the other, if you're not listening to the other side, then you're being willfully ignorant. And if you get both sides and then you still hold your opinion, then I respect the shit out of it.
Yeah,
because you're coming from a place of, I get it, I understand, and he has his right, and I have my right to not agree with it. And it's like, okay, yeah, you absolutely do, and I respect that. I respect that you can understand that someone was kneeling for disparaged people, and he maybe did it in a way that not everyone agrees with.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that's up to the owners if they want to not continue to employ him.
Yeah.
And so I get that part of it too.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I would hope we could do better as a culture and a people.
I agree, and I think that the NFL getting involved was stupid. I think that
our president getting involved is stupid.
Yeah, where it's like, and that's the other thing is, and so this goes to the media is like.
It wasn't like he was interrupting.
It's true. He was not interrupting. He was not, wiping his ass with anything.
Right.
He was not being willful.
That's your thing.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I do. I mean, honestly, Rob, I think you should start wiping your ass. You're old enough.
I'll get around to it at some point.
Yeah, it's okay. You've got time.
I grew up in the day where, you just used a fig leaf or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we've grown as a society, bud.
But not me.
Yeah. But that being going back to it, I think I go to the media for some of that because okay, so a football player knelt during the national anthem, so you go to our president. As a journalist, you go to the president and say, "What do you think about that?" And then he says, "Well, I think he's a fucking idiot, or whatever he says." He's a
despicable. Yeah, he was not kind.
Yeah, and then he's
this
like,
is a long time ago.
Yeah, right. And
I drink.
Yeah, right. Was it Obama or was that Trump?
No, it was during Trump. It was Trump's first.
That's right. It was during
first.
Trump, and it's like that became headline news. Trump thought this of Colin Kaepernick. So that goes back to my. Famous people having opinions about other famous people, where it's like, who gives a shit? Make your own fucking opinion.
Right.
Like, if on paper you don't like it. And I heard this in a Safeway during the Colin Kaepernick thing.
Oh.
But I think it was referred to at the Seahawks, because I think there were Seahawks kneeling at this point.
Oh, yeah, there were some.
Yeah.
It took a spark. Some Dolphins were kneeling, all kinds of things. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of teams did.
Yeah, and there was a lady.
Fucking coaches were kneeling, man.
Yeah, no, and there was a lady at the grocery store, and I heard her talking to her kids, and her kids were probably like high school teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was like a picture of a Seahawk on a magazine kneeling or something like that, and she said something like, "Oh, well, I don't support them anymore." And her son was like, "Why?" And she said, and I love this. I thought this was such a great answer. And she goes, "I think they're doing what they believe in, and now I'm doing what I believe in." And I'm like, that's a very fair statement.
Yeah.
It wasn't hateful. It wasn't,
You can't argue with that.
It wasn't, discriminatory. It wasn't, oh, well, they're fucking idiots.
Right.
It was, they're doing something they believe in. I don't believe in what they believe in, so I don't support them. And I'm like, that's fair. And I think that was a very...
I take that.
And she's talking to kids. She was talking to her kids. You talk to kids, you have to be aware that there is a way to say things that inspire them to hate.
Yeah.
And she could have.
Yeah.
She could have been like, well, they're fucking idiots. And as my son, you're going to fucking believe what I believe. Or you're going to get the fuck out of my house.
I can respect that answer.
So I really did. And to talk honestly to, a teenager at an impressionable age without being disparaging, was very, and it's, I think that is.
It almost still also set the, it set it up to be what it was, which it is not something that is going to change the world tomorrow.
Correct.
I don't believe in this, so I don't believe in, I'm not going to support that.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's not like the world's falling apart because people are kneeling now.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not so it, in a way, the undertone to that even kind of set the pace for what it really all comes back to.
Yeah.
Some two idiot guys in a room talking about it in a podcast years later.
Yeah. No, and it may be historical. It may not. But I think that over time, I think it will. And I think that anyone who doesn't see something like that, because there is a difference between, and we're hammering this point home. There is a difference between kneeling during the national anthem and burning a flag.
Yeah.
Like, those are two very different things. Those are two very different messages.
I agree.
And the fact it's not something that extreme, I think is...
It's a passive statement.
Yeah, I think
which is very different.
Yeah, I think it'll age better than people give it credit for.
The fact we haven't talked I have not heard much talk about it, and I know the NFL wants to walk away from it as fast as they can, including all the things that cover it.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to kind of see like how the world feels about that over time, because I did understand why he did it, and I agreed with him that there needs to be more change faster.
Yeah. Well, and I will point out that since that happened, we've had 2 major hip-hop Super Bowl performances.
True.
3 if you count the weekend, but I don't.
I mean, maybe not, but I did enjoy the weekend.
For the first time ever since then, we've had, the Dr. Dre thing, and we've had Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
2 very different performances, 2 very different artists. But I think that, having that recognized as a legitimate form of music, which I agree with, because I'm an NWA guy, I'm a Public Enemy guy.
Oh yeah, same. I mean, I got into rap, R&B, hip hop much later than my many other people did. But my good friend John really kind of got me into it. And when we would carpool together a lot, so that's a lot of what he listened to, and that's where I started to really get into those artists and such.
Yeah, and I think that anyone who says they don't like hip hop, they haven't listened to enough of it.
Yeah.
Because very much like rock music, like pop music, like country music, there is a brand of it that you'll probably like.
Yeah, I make my joke about hating old country, but it's not true. There's country I do like.
I mean, I do too. And I'm as guilty of that as anyone, where it's like, I hate all country music, except for, Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson and Chris Stapleton and the Civil Wars, and it's like you kind of spiral. You start naming them off, and you're like,
"Shit, I like country."
Yeah, exactly.
Damn it!
And everyone's like, "So you don't like country, but you do like country," and it's like, that's exactly it. That is exactly.
Sorry.
But this all goes back to Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance, because if you've watched any of his live performances that aren't like concerts, like his live performances at the Grammys or the AMAs or whatever he's done. All of those, I guess, except for the one he did with Imagine Dragons, which was just fucking awesome.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, God. We'll watch that later. And you're going to be like, I didn't know I could like Kendrick Lamar this much.
And then also like Imagine Dragons.
Much less like them together.
Right.
It's fantastic. But all of his performances are very poignant. Like that. Like the halftime show.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a Grammy performance where he shows up and he's wearing prison clothes and he's in a chain gang. And he shows up. And again, it's like he's not outright saying there's a problem with our judicial system where black people are in jail. He's not saying that. He's showing up dressed as that and being like, what do you think?
Right.
Should this be something we're talking? And I think that
it's not in your face.
Yeah, as an artist, that is something that is important. It's as necessary as anything anyone's ever done.
That reminded me, there was one commercial and then we'll kind of wrap up in GTFO. No worries. But there was one ad during the Super Bowl that shocked the fuck out of me. It was for Hims.
Okay.
I think it was for their weight loss stuff. But the background song was Childish Gambino's "This Is America."
Oh, okay.
And I was like, how the fuck are you that tone deaf that you use that song for your fucking weight loss?
Yeah.
Like the fucking thing opens on the guy blowing a black man in a bag's head, its head in a bag's head off. And the video, have you ever seen the video?
I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen the whole thing. I know it's like
all right. When we get out, I'll show you that before we roll out. But just hearing that, I was like, I love that song. I love the messaging of it. All that. Just hear that on the back of a Hims commercial.
Yeah.
The fuck.
Yeah. That's not good. Yeah, I can see that big. Well, that's like when who was it? Like Kylie Jenner.
Yeah.
Did like the Pepsi commercial.
And Pepsi didn't do the halftime this time. It was Apple.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Pepsi
obviously
was a halftime show, and it was Apple this time. What happened to Pepsi? I guess Pepsi's on. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
it's funny.
I mean, I prefer Coke.
Yeah, I'm a bigger Coke person.
Coca-Cola.
But that's probably why I usually notice shit like that, because I'm like, well, not that I either drink any of them.
Yeah,
days,
right.
But I was always more of a Coke fan than a Pepsi fan. But like, usually Pepsi does the halftime show.
Yeah,
and it was Apple this time.
Did they get a commercial? Like, they usually have the like Pepsi commercial.
I don't even think I saw a Pepsi commercial. I don't remember seeing one.
We're in a different world now.
Absolutely.
That's insane.
The post-Pepsi world. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Post-Pepsi world.
Well, Mr. Spence, I think we did a lot of shit today. Eh?
Yeah. No. I think the most important thing we didn't cover was just that the Chiefs didn't win.
The Chiefs didn't win, and you know what? I didn't care.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I guess I cared a little bit. So Taylor Swift got booed, which I thought was funny, but there was actually a lot of background behind that. One, Eagles fans are just atrocious to begin with.
Yeah,
Two,
they fucking destroyed their city as a celebration.
Yeah. Two, apparently, I've not validated this truth.
Yeah.
She used to be an Eagles fan before she became. Yeah. So there's some good reasons to move. That's true.
I think we can all agree that Taylor Swift is a big fan of whatever sports team the guy she's dating likes.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I mean,
for me, I'm like, if my friend did that, like, because I know you're a diehard Dolphins fan.
Yeah.
If you got a new smoking hot girlfriend, not that, your current girlfriend isn't smoking hot or whatever.
Right.
If she died tragically in a car accident and then you moved on to someone else.
Right.
And they were like a major fucking like golf fans. Because I know you're not a golf guy.
No.
And so if they were like major golf fans and then you were like, no, golf is a different sport than I realized before I dated her. Now that I've talked to her, I'd be bitch.
Right.
I'd be like, Rob, you're a fucking bitch. Love you to death, but you hate golf. It's who you are.
Right, exactly. So I think I'll go a slightly different way. I would say, like, if I was always like a big fan of Anna Kournikova, I think she was like a big tennis player, and then I started dating Serena Williams.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, like, I mean, maybe I should start like rooting for her, because that's really what Taylor's doing, right? But I'll still have a little love for Anna Kournikova in the background, maybe, or something like that. That's a little bit different.
Yeah, and I agree. If she used to be an Eagles fan, and she showed up here in a half Eagles, half Chiefs, because she's like, I love Travis Kelce, but this is where my heart is, I'd be like, okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
She's supporting her man, and she's supporting her team. But yeah, I didn't know that. If she used to be an Eagles fan, that's fucking hilarious.
I heard that a little bit after the weekend happened and all that, and I was like, if that's true, that's kind of like, I don't blame her. Like, support your boy, but maybe in the back of her mind a little bit like, sorry, boyfriend.
As soon as they start losing, she like switches seats. And it's like, I'm gonna go sit in their box
over there hanging out with Jalen Hurt. How's it going?
Yeah, like, hey, yeah. You had any songs written about you recently?
Do you want a breakup song, Barkley? Let's do it.
I wonder if when she dated Tom Hiddleston, she was like, I'm like pro Frost Giants. Like she was like for Asgard or whatever it was. Like she just thought that the fucking Ice Giants were a fucking football team.
Totally. All right, Mr. Spence. I'll see you next week, sir.
Sounds good.
Peace.